How's it going, boys? Welcome everybody back to another video. So today I'm going to be going over the most meta and best starting 4-1-2-1-2 second variation custom tactics. Now we're going to go over my defensive tactics, my attacking tactics, player instructions, and then we're going to jump into a game to give you guys an example and show you guys like the structure of how it looks in game. Now if you guys missed my 4-3-1-2 objectives, or sorry, not objectives, formation guide, that is also on the channel. If you look at the two, they are basically identical. The only difference is the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation is a tad bit more defensive because, as you can see, Herrera is classed as a CDM, whereas the 4-3-1-2 he is classed as a centre mid. So 4-1-2-1-2 second variation is basically the 4-3-1-2, just a tad bit more defensive. So we have done the defensive and attacking tactics. We haven't worried about the ultra defensive or the ultra attacking. If you guys do obviously want to go for that, then you can. Just make sure you're constant pressure and forward runs, fast build up, all of that. But I'll start off with the defensive one and the instructions, and then we'll head over to the attacking and jump into the examples. So what I have found really good this year, and I'll show you, like, I'll give you guys a reason behind it as well. So for defensive, we are going to go drop back. The width we're just going to keep at 50, the depth we're going to turn down to 35, and I have found that it's a fast-paced game, but at the same time it's a slow-paced game this year. Passing is crucial this year, right? Passing is, it feels weird, and whenever it's a new game, the passing always feels weird to start off with, and I feel like it's very hard or very easy to make defensive mistakes, I should say. It's very hard to defend. So I feel like having a drop back, have it on 35 back, not all the way back because you don't want to play it all too far back and too defensive, but I feel like 35 is the right balance. Now for the build-up play, we have that on balanced. For chance creation, we also have that on balance. The width we kept on 50. 4 players in the box, 2 players in the box for corners, and 2 in the box for free kicks. Now for the instructions, we have just gone stay central and get in behind for both my strikers. My cam is get into the box. My CDM, now the thing with a CDM, in my 4-3-1-2, the central centre mid who worked as a CDM basically, I had him on stay back, cover centre, and stay on the edge of the box. The only difference between the instructions with my 4-3-1-2 is the CDM in this one, there is no stay on the edge of a box instruction. There's only like stick to position, free roam, or drift wide. So you can have them on cover center, stick to position, and stay back because your CDM is obviously going to be your more defensive player. Now your right and left centre mid, just make sure they are both on cover center and on balance. So balance attack, balance cross, and cover center, exact same for Jude Bellingham. Now for the fullbacks, we do have him on, actually I have it on the wrong one. It's going to be on balanced attack and overlap, and the exact same here, balanced attack and overlap for the fullbacks. Balance is just so you can, you know, but they make runs up sometimes they stay back as well. And the reason you have them on overlap, the most important thing, interceptions I've just kept as normal, defensive position I've just kept as stick to position, but most important thing, make sure you have your fullbacks on overlap, because if you miss my 4-3-1-2 objectives, it's a very narrow formation, lads. It's a very narrow formation. Got your strikers, got your cam, got your centre mids, you've got no right cam, you've got no left cam, you've got no wingers, you've got no players to create chances from down the side. So having your fullbacks on overlap, say you've got Jude Bellingham, you can have Hector Bellerin making that forward run upwards for an extra bit of support, and you can obviously overlap, make an overlapping run, give that through to Hector Bellerin or whoever your fullback is, and then you can cross it in from there. So make sure, even when you're defensive, make sure you've got the overlap on, just so you have an extra option going forward, because otherwise you will get caught out as it is a very narrow formation. Now going over to the attacking tactics, we've got press after possession loss. It is on 50-50, I don't know, it was on 51 there. Press after possession loss, both on 50-50, fast build up and forward run. So we've basically just kept this exact same, but press after possession loss is absolutely ideal. Obviously you lose the ball and then you'll press for, I think it's like 5 or 6 seconds you'll start pressing, and it's a really good way, and especially at the beginning of the game. Obviously the game's only been out, we're all during 10 hours early access, right? And this is so important because people are still shaky at the back. They've not learned the full game yet. Passing takes quite a while to get used to. So when you're starting out, say the next week or two, press after possession loss is going to be OP, because if you do lose the ball, then you start pressing, your players start pressing, and it's going to put a lot of unnecessary pressure on your opponent who might fumble the ball. It happened to me the other day. My opponent was pressing after possession loss. He lost the ball, and then he literally had like 2 players run towards me and I was like, I don't know what I can do because I'm still getting used to the game, and I gave the ball away, and it led to a goal. So press after possession loss is very important. Fast build up. We've just kept the width on 50, players in the boxes on 6, corners, there's 4 in the box, and free kicks, there's 4 in the box as well. For the instructions here, we've gone stay central, get in behind, and stay forward. For both the strikers, Thorgan Hazard, our cam is stay forward and get into the box. Our CDM is stay back while attacking, stick to position still, because you still want that defensive outlet, because you don't want to be too attacking. As for the centre mids, I've got Jude Bellingham on balanced, and I've got Moreno on get forward and get into the box. Now, what I'd usually do is pick either one of your centre mids to play as like a get forward player and one to keep on balance. So usually you'd want to keep your more defensive type of centre mid on balance, which for me is Jude Bellingham, and then Moreno, who is actually really good going forward as well. You have him on get forward and get into the box. And as well to mention, if you are using it as a balanced formation, so if you're just going to make it your main formation and just rock balanced, so you've got your defensive, attacking, and balanced. With balanced, I literally just keep the defensive style how it is on balanced. I put the depth down from 50 and I put it down to 45, just because we're all still learning the game. You don't want to have your players push too much up. If you're still very uncomfortable, you could even go as low as 35. Build up play and chance creation, I've just kept on balanced. It's a very narrow formation, and I feel like balance just suits it really well, as long as you got your fullbacks, and I feel like having your fullbacks on overlap is the most important thing. And for the instructions on balanced, it is very similar to the defensive. Both your strikers on stay central, get behind, your cam on get into the box, your CDM on stay back while attacking and cover centre, and your 2 centre mids are both just balanced attack, balanced crossing runs, cover centre, exact same like I said for my right centre mid. And for your fullbacks, they are both on overlap. So balanced is also very similar to the defensive ones. The only difference is we're not playing drop back. Right, so we're going to get into some examples. So my first opponent, we are going to play a division rivals game. It's actually a really nice starting team. He's got the Portuguese boys, the Portuguese League, Grimaldo and Vermiso, I'm pretty sure it is. Galson there as well. Everton, it's a nice team, a nice starting team. LaCroix, he's going to be one to look out for. But I'm going to obviously just try find some examples for you guys. I'm going to try to showcase the different positions and what the player instructions particularly does, and obviously the drop back. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off and we're going to go defensive. Alright, boys, we're going to go defensive. So remember, defensive, my centre mids are on balanced, my strikers are on stay central, get in behind, my cam is on get into the box, and my fullbacks are on balanced attack, but they're both on overlap. Let's see how it works, boys. Right, so instantly you can see the structure. My players are starting to get into their correct positions. So as you can see, Thorgan Hazard is actually laying back with my centre mids. So your cam isn't as pushed up all the time as you'd quite expect him to be. When you're defensive as well, I should mention that is when you're defensive. When you're attacking, your cam will obviously be pushed further up. Great interception there. Now, what I want you guys to pay attention to, so we're going through with Felix, yeah? We've got the other striker, and now Felix getting in behind, making that run, which is absolutely perfect. Can he finish it? He moved his keeper. I should have gone near post there. Very unfortunate. But as you can see, the stay central, get in behind, working like an absolute beauty. Hazard, and as you can see there, that overlapping run from Marcelo, perfect. Remember as well, boys, we are still defensive. So that is just balanced attack and overlap, and that is absolutely class from Marcelo. So as you can see with my opponent attacking, I am defensive at the minute. Now, as you can see, my players aren't pushed back too far. You've got your 3 centre mids in the midfield, and obviously your strikers, mine being obviously Malin, and I'm pretty sure it's João Felix, are pushed up further. Now, we do win it back. Jude Bellingham, who's our right centre mid, is pushed up a little bit. João Felix, but no, as I was saying before, no matter what formation, I really love having 2 strikers for the link up, and that is beautifully taken from João Felix. He's making that run in behind. That is absolutely beautiful. Once again, the 2 striker link up is just absolutely phenomenal with this formation. I'm just going to clip that. Is my opponent going to rage quit? He's not going to rage quit. He's obviously changing up something. But no, for real, the getting behind, the running behind, obviously I'll show you guys as well instructions. The getting behind attacking runs with your strikers are just so crucial, and that really just proves it right there. Right, boys, so we have gone ahead. We've switched it up for halftime. We're 2-1 up. I feel like we can score a good amount of goals against this dude. So we've gone from defensive and we are now attacking. So go on, feed Malin in there. Once again, another fake. Okay, it was a side. Now, the main difference between attacking is my fullbacks, instead of just overlap, they are now get forward and overlap. My right centre mid, being Moreno, is now get forward and get into the box. Whilst my other centre mid, Jude Bellingham, I've still kept him on balance. Obviously my CDM as well, he is still on stay back, which is going to be Herrera. But the main difference between this is I just have obviously press after position loss, which I'll show you guys a prime example of that in a second as well. Obviously if I do lose a ball, and I'll show you guys how OP that press after position loss is. But yeah, you're going to see a whole lot more attacking. As you can see, I've got Moreno here, who I am using as my more attacking minded centre mid. As you can see, he starts making that run forward as well. He wouldn't have done that if we were still on balance. We're going to cross that in, and that is an absolutely horrific cross, sadly. As you can see, look how much players we've got forward. As I said, going attacking, it is indeed very, very attacking. So you'd really only be wanting to do this if you are chasing a goal, like you really, really want to get another goal, because you've got a lot of players forwards. You've got Mullen, you've got Felix, you've got Hazard, and you've got Moreno forward. So your only defensive players when you are attacking is going to be your CDM and your left centre mid, who remains on obviously balanced attack, and obviously you've got your fullbacks as well. So you've really only got, like, you're basically, when you're going attacking in this formation, you've essentially only got two midfielders that are staying back, and that is Herrera and Bellingham for me, whoever your other centre mid is. So attacking is a dangerous game with this formation, but obviously it is very, very, very good if you are chasing, and whether it's an equaliser or something like that. So boys, hopefully this video obviously did help you guys out. Now remember as well, this is a very attacking minded formation. Obviously it does depend what custom tactics. You can play it defensively or attacking wise if you want. And that is why this formation is so good. Because depending if you want to go defensive, then you'd make both your centre mids and your CDMs on stay back and cover centre. But if you want to go attacking, then you'd probably chuck them on get forward or balance. So it's a really good formation that, you know, obviously say like a free at the back. You can never really play free at the back defensively, you know, because you've only got 3 centre backs, you've only got 3 defenders. Whereas this one, you've got the choice. So that is why it is so good to have a formation as versatile as this. Like I said, it's really just up to the instructions at the end of the day. So like I said, defensive, you'll probably want to keep your centre mids on balanced and your CDM on stay back. And if you're going attacking, you'd probably want to keep one centre mid on balanced, your CDM on stay back, and your other centre mid on get forward, so you can offer that going forward. Hopefully this video did help you guys out. I absolutely love this formation. It is very, very similar to the 4-3-1-2. The only difference, this is a tad little bit more defensive because you do obviously have that CDM. If you guys are new and you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It's been your boy Davis, and until next time, see you later boys.